Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Why Every Nonprofit Needs a Brand. I hope your week is off to a good start. And today we're going to get right into today's topic. I'm super excited about this because as a nonprofit leader and or a social entrepreneur, you will at some point need to build your organization brand, right? So this should be done in the early steps before you start asking for funding. So remember your brand, if nobody knows that you exist as an organization or you have this cause, nobody knows to buy what you're selling. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. So the topics covered today will be what is branding, why branding matters, key elements of a brand, steps to create a brand identity, and developing your brand message, building an online brand. And so just gonna keep it super simple and let's go. Right. So, what is branding? So, branding, I think a lot of times when we look at branding, we think about a logo. That's the first thing come to a lot of nonprofit leaders' mind or social entrepreneurs' mind. But branding is more than that. Branding is a process of creating your identity, like creating who you are as the organization, right? This process also delivers materials that support the brand. So, like your logo, it's the logo, but it's also other things like your tagline, the visual design, your tone of voice. It also delivers like when I talk about material, like what does your marketing material look like, right? Whether it's social media marketing, whether it's just you, how you showing up for the actual audience that you're actually serving. So remember, your brand is much more than just a logo. It's actually you creating this identity for your organization. So if people need to want to know what your organization is about, yeah, your logo is good. It tells one part of your brand identity, but also like what's your tagline, like what is the design of your logo. When they see your logo, do they know, like we could take example, and I'm going to show you some examples in the next slide, but you can look at the SAW, like when they see that logo, like do they know what that really means, right? So again, your brand is is the process of creating your actual identity for your organization. So here's some brand examples. So let's look at Coca-Cola. I chose these two because these have been around for many, many years. And a lot of times we can relate. Coca-Cola has always had the cursive C's. They haven't changed. The only thing has changed over the years is their tagline, their slogan line. So Coke, has had over 60 plus slogans over the years. I think it's like 62. Isn't that crazy? And Pepsi is right behind them. So one of their slogans is real magic, like enjoy Coca-Cola and real magic, but it depends on their campaign, at their marketing campaign at the time. Then let's talk about Pepsi. We all know that Pepsi is um another brand out here that has always been blue, like red, white, and like the blue with the red and the white. Um, it's always been that color for years, right? Remember Coke, their color is red. They have different branding colors, but depending on their marketing campaign. But for the most part, Pepsi has always been Pepsi, Coca-Cola has always been Coca-Cola, and that's what separates their brands from each other. A lot of times, we don't um, separate ourselves because we see one brand and we like that brand and we want to, utilize that, we want to emulate that brand. But what's going to set you, that's the question, number one question, what will set your brand apart from other brands, right? So as you can see here, Coca-Cola is has one, and Pepsi has the one color. Coca-Cola has their own color as well. Okay, so why does branding matter? So branding matters because number one, it builds trust. So you have to establish like credibility and confidence with your donors and your stakeholders, especially when you're asking, before you ask for funding. Your branding matters because they know that, okay, this is a solid brand. When they go and do their due diligence and look up your organization, they can see that your brand is what it say it is. Your logo say what is, your tag, they can see that you are who you say you are. And number two, it differentiates you. You stand out from the competition, and it highlights your unique value. So maybe you are maybe you're not uh you don't quite know how to stand out. Well, what's going to differentiate your organization from another organization that does the same thing that you do, right? what what would differentiate you? um I'm just saying, you gotta ask yourself this question. Like, what will differentiate you from standing out in front of your competition? And then number three, it engages supporters. Um, you want to engage supporters so they could build a deeper connection with your volunteers, maybe the members of your organization, and maybe the community that you're serving, right? So those three things alone is why your brand matters. You have to build trust and you have to differentiate yourself. And this also helps you engage with your supporters, right? So remember, your brand is more than just the logo and the tagline. You have to establish the trust and be different, and then engage with your supporters. So here are the key elements of a brand. You want to have a visual identity. That goes back to that logo. Does your logo, do you remember the logo? Does that logo keep that memory in your mind? Is it consistent? Is your color scheme right? And is it distinctive with your fonts, right? Um, do you have the same font style, or are you all over the place? So remember, your brand, you want to have visual identity when it comes to the elements of your brand. Two, mission and your values. You want to clearly define the purpose, beliefs, and guiding principles behind your mission. Remember, we talked about that last week on when we discussed, defining your mission. Like, what does it need to say? What does it need to how to, so that your audience can understand exactly what you're actually saying and what your cause is all about, right? And number three, your messaging. You want to make sure that you have compelling storytelling, and it's recognizable, and it's authentic, and it's you. You're not coming across salesy, or you're not begging. So remember, these are the key elements. You want to make sure that you have the visual identity, like your brand identity, like your mission and the values. Like, what do you believe in? What is that clearly defined? Like, what is your purpose? What's the purpose for your organization? And your message, is your message clear? Do they understand what it is that you actually do? Do they understand what your cause is all about? Remember, I talked about, if nobody knows that you exist as this organization, or you have this cause, nobody is going to support what it is that you are doing, right? So remember, you got to have your identity, mission, and values, and the message. It has to be, these are the key elements of your brand. So let's talk about the steps to create a brand identity. We talked about identity. Well, what is that? Like, okay, so you want to define your mission, clarify your organization's purpose and core values. What do you believe in, and what is your why? Is it integrity? Is it education? Like, those are some examples of core values. But what is the purpose of your nonprofit? Who are you serving? What problem are you solving, and how? Right? Those three questions you want to ask yourself. Who are we serving? What problem are we solving? And how are we going about doing it, right? What is it going to take for you to solve that problem? That's defining your mission. Then you want to understand your audience. Identify your target donors, your volunteers, and partners. So remember, um, you want to understand your audience. Do you know the people that you're serving? Do you know the people that you're serving? I'm just asking. Do you know the people that you're serving? And it can't be everybody. Oh, everybody can use our services. No, you can't serve everyone. There's a million, there's a plethora of people in the world, right? And I know we want to impact a lot of people. And I know that our hearts are so, like, you just want to serve and you just want to help, but you can't serve everybody. So you have to get really clear on, who is your audience? Do you understand your audience? Like, you got to identify your target donors, volunteers, and partners, and the people that is going to benefit the most from the services that you provide or products. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. So then you want to identify your unique value. Um, what sets you apart? You want to craft like a a compelling proposition statement that really sets you apart. Like, what's going to set us apart? Why would someone want to support our mission? Why would someone want to support our cause? And that's what you have to communicate to your audience. Here's why they will support our cause. It's because we do X, Y, and Z, right? You want to be different from, yeah, you can look at other brands and you can compare them, but how is yours going to be set apart from all the others? And so you want to develop a unique value. What's your unique value proposition, right? Okay, so let's talk about the importance of visual branding. I use this as an example because it's a captivating logo, um, and it's Jaguar. Jaguar is a car, right? It's a car manufacturer, and their logo is the same. It's the same. It's classy, but it's the same. And when you see this logo, you understand what you're getting. You understand that this is first of all, it's a strong logo, right? And a strong logo is the foundation of your visual identity. You got to have a good logo. And to do that, you need a graphic designer that can help you build this strong logo that they can see your vision, so you can bring this vision together. So although Jaguar has been around for many years, guess what? Their logo is still strong. People are still purchasing Jaguars, and it's a captivating logo. When you see Jaguar, guess what? You're going to get a luxury vehicle. It's a luxury vehicle. Same thing with BMW, same thing with Infinity. But with Jaguar, you're like top tier, even with Mercedes. So I'm just showing you this because you can get a visual of, hey, when I go here, it's going to be top tier. I'm going to get this luxury vehicle. I'm going to pay. You get what you pay for. But again, that's why a strong logo is the foundation of your visual identity. And you need to build that before you go in and start asking for funding. So let's talk about developing your brand message. You want to, craft a story. Remember, you got to create a compelling narrative that resonates with your audience so people can understand like who you are, what it is you're doing. People can relate to what it is that you're about to do as far as your messaging with the organization or your cause. You want to, and the second is consistency is key. You got to maintain a unified voice and tone across all communications. So being consistent with your story so that you're not all over the place. They know exactly every time they see you show up, either whether it's in an online space, direct mail, or in person, it's the same. Your story is consistent. It's consistent. And you want to have a tailored messaging, like adapt your message to specific stakeholder groups. So if you're looking for funding, you want to make sure that your messaging is not going to be the same for banks. Your messaging is not going to be the same for community healthcare organizations. Your message isn't going to be the same for previous funders. It's going to be personalized and tailored to that particular funder and that particular group of stakeholders, right? Maybe you're looking to partner with or healthcare organizations or banks, financial institutions, and your message definitely will have to change. It won't be the same. But you get what I'm saying, being consistent in your messaging. You want to be consistent in your messaging. So remember, be consistent in your messaging. And the next one is building an online brand. Remember, let me say this for my nonprofit leaders. You have to make sure you have all of these foundational tools in place before you start asking for funding. Because if you're asking people for like $1 million or more, or any dollar amount for that matter, you want to make sure that you have a online presence. So one is a professional website. Having a professional website, you want to showcase your brand through a modernized, user-friendly website. I would recommend where a lot of people use Wix. A lot of people use, I think other platforms, Shopify, but for when you have a nonprofit organization, WordPress, I love it because you can set up blogs, you can set up a store, it's so much things that you can do. Yes, it is more techy and technical, but you need a modern website, a professional website that showcases your organization or the cause that you have going on, right? And it needs to be user friendly when they go to the website, that they can utilize. If they want to donate to your organization or your cause, they can do that super, super easy, right? Number two, social media. You want to actively engage with your audience on relevant platforms. So whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, you pick a platform and master that one platform. I'm not saying to go out here and get at all the online social media platforms. What I am saying is this: you need to pick one platform and maximize that platform. Utilize that platform to the best of your ability. Okay. Number three, you need to try email marketing. That's need to be a part of your plan, your plan when you are establishing your nonprofit organization or your social enterprise, right? You want to nurture relationships through targeted branded communications, making sure that you keep your supporters and sponsors in the loop and in the know of what's going on with your brand, what you're doing, what your goals are, if you have any events coming up, things like that. All right. So remember, we if nobody knows your organization has a brand, nobody will support your cause. I gotta stress, I can't stress this enough, because if nobody knows that you're here and available, nobody knows to even support the cause, right? And so what we want to do is make sure that we're maximizing everything that we possibly can in regards to our brand. We want to make sure that these are um, that when we are out here on this online platform, that when they look us up, our name up, they can see exact that you're out here doing the work, you're getting seen, right? So again, this is just something that I want to share. Like, if nobody knows you exist, nobody's going to support your cause, and you are the mouthpiece for the organization and or the social enterprise. All right, so what's next? I want to invite you to our Funding Your Nonprofit with the Ease Masterclass that will take place this Saturday, June the 15th. Tickets are going fast. We have like limited space. We only did a few seats. I think we have 5 people signed up so far. Was only taking 7. And so if you want to get in on the masterclass, it is available. We will be discussing in further detail how to get funders to say yes, asking for money the right way. Also, we'll be teaching you how to make your nonprofit stand out on a budget. I know a lot of times we talk about branding and marketing, and a lot of nonprofit leaders get overwhelmed because it's like, oh, what do I do? We don't have a budget for that yet, but how can I build this brand simplistically without, breaking the bank? And so also inside of this class, masterclass, you will get email scripts for funders. Like, how are you following up with funders? Are you just stopping at the one grant or sponsorship or corporate sponsorship? You get the funds and you ghost them. Like, that's not ethical, and that's not professional. Like, you have to, you want to keep your funders in the know of everything, because people will they want to know what's going on. And if you have good things going on, they definitely will help you, right? They will definitely help you. And again, like I said, this is the Funding Your Nonprofit with Ease Masterclass that takes place Saturday. Here's what's included. You will, like I said, you'll get the network to network bundle. Those are 4 email scripts that you will use to engage and win over funders. You're going to need these scripts so that when you're introducing yourself, maybe the banks are one of your stakeholders. You want to reach out to banks, also to community health organizations. We have those community leaders. We also have where if you need events, you want to get an event sponsored. These are important email scripts that you'll need. And we also will provide you with insider tips of how to utilize these scripts and how to expand your network and effectively communicate your mission. So the masterclass details, it starts June the 15th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it'll be live via Zoom. Go ahead and sign up today. Again, like I said, we have limited seating, and we will this will be, I believe that it will be impactful to our our nonprofit leaders, because again, if nobody knows you exist, nobody, how can they fund what you have? People want what you have. You just have to be in the right position in the right place at the right time. Okay, so if you have not, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to thank you so much for tuning in this morning. And remember that your brand is so important. If nobody knows that you exist, nobody is going to buy into what you're selling. We talked about the brand examples, your brand identity, what branding looks like, and we share those with you so that you can get an idea, have a visual of what to expect when you're building your brand and why branding matters. Okay. So remember, every nonprofit and every social entrepreneur with a social enterprise needs a brand. Okay. We'll talk soon, and catch us on Wednesday where we talk about funding, how to overcome funding challenges. Okay. Talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.